What's up, guys? It's Benny. Mr. James Comey, super patriot FBI director, used to fancy himself the next J. Edgar Hoover, but it turns out he's just another beta cuck wearing Biden-Harris shirt and very milky coffee. Never trust a man who drinks coffee that looks like chai tea. Maybe that's what it is. Elect more women, says every lanky, embarrassing inch of James Comey, who's been spiraling since his ass got fired by Donald Trump. Fidelity, bravery, and integrity, and proud of it. He's so proud. It's weird. He's wearing still the FBI swag after he was just completely and totally shit-canned in the most humiliating possible way. Happy Pride Month, everyone, says James Comey. We're not using federal law enforcement for political purposes at all, says James Comey, as he does exactly that. James Comey admitted more times than I can show you right here. It'd be the next 10 hours for me to show you every time that James Comey admitted on air that they lied to spy on Donald Trump. Would you agree that the FISA court, you lied to it in order to get spying applications approved? I think that's fair, says James Comey. Yeah, sure. Just a little light treason. Okay. So James Comey is a complete scumbag, and he's spiraling, and they're bad. He's doing very dumb things, but he's just done one of the dumbest things I've ever seen. And one thing that may actually wind up putting him in prison, may wind up getting him a visit from the bureau that he used to run, and that would be welcome. Okay, so first, a little bit of a background on what 86 means. Okay, to 86 something in the restaurant business means to throw it in the trash, or means it's not available, right? If you 86 a plate, let's say you're working in a kitchen, you 86 something, you throw the meal away, or it's not available on the menu anymore. It's a terminology from the industry to just get you to trash something, to get rid of it. Libs would put little 8645 stickers and numbers in their shots. For instance, Dr. Fauci had one. Large liberal influencers used 8647, right, to get rid of 47. 86 is a term in American English slang, primarily in food service, hospitality industry, to indicate that an item is no longer available, or a customer, or it should be removed from the premises, or that a customer should be removed from the premises. It can also mean to get rid of something, to trash something. But here we go. Let's go ahead and check Wikipedia here. The term 86 is also slang for to kill someone. It could mean that you want someone to die. So, according to Castle's Dictionary of Slang, 86 means to kill, murder, or execute judicially, likely referring to killing someone and putting them in a coffin, standard grave being 8 feet long by 6 feet deep. This slang is widely used. It's been used in music, it's been used in culture, and it's been used in imagery. So that's what 86 means. So if you're saying to 8647, or 45 here in this image of the governor of Michigan before Donald Trump was elected, so to get rid of 45, or if you're saying it 47, that means to get rid of President Trump now, because he's 45 and 47. Okay, got it? All right, here we go. Now, James Comey is under a lot of pressure right now. According to insiders who've been on our show, you're busted, according to General Flynn. We have the evidence. James Comey, start measuring yourself. You're a tall guy. You need to send your measurements over to the Bureau of Prisons, says General Flynn, before he tells me that James Comey tried to have him killed. You should have killed me, Jim. I know you considered it. By not doing that, you picked the wrong guy to mess with. So this is somebody who's told me that James Comey is capable of murder. James Comey certainly did try to politically assassinate President Trump, obviously by spying on him and attempting to destroy his life with the Russia hoax. Well, ladies and gentlemen, here's James Comey's Instagram. This is an Instagram of James Comey putting 8647 on the beach. Cool shell formation on my beach walk, says James Comey. This is real. We've checked. What's up? So this is James Comey saying, effectively, I want to kill Donald Trump. If you would interpret it as slang. I mean, I want to get rid of the customer. I want to, either way, he's saying that he wants something bad to happen to Donald Trump. But as the Wikipedia approved definition, he's saying, I want to kill Trump. Don Jr. coming in over the top. saying, James Comey just casually calling for my dad to be murdered. This is who the Democrat media worships, demented Donald Trump Jr. The entire internet is exploding over this right now. While President Trump is currently at an international trip to the Mideast, former FBI director puts out what can clearly be interpreted as a hit on the sitting president of the United States, clearly etched in the sand, deeply concerning, and is being taken seriously, says Taylor, who is the communications deputy chief of staff and communications director for the White House. It'll be a sweet day when karma catches up with Comey, says Maria Bartiromo, because you know you broke the FBI with your politics and your hate. You should be ashamed of yourselves. The Comey Instagram post is real for 8647. There it is. It's James Comey on the beach reading his own book. What a total insufferable jackass narcissist. This is really embarrassing. This is all across my social media feed. I mean, it requires a visit from the FBI. It requires someone from the FBI to go and investigate what James Comey meant by this. Corrupt former FBI Director James Comey puts out an obvious death threat against Donald Trump. Another reason why nobody trusts the FBI or DOJ, says General Flynn. This man, Comey, did so much damage to the reputation of the great law enforcement. Kash Patel and Dan Bongino are going to have to pour their heart and souls out into fixing that culture and the reputation of the FBI. Arrest Comey, says Congressman Tim Burchett. Former FBI director is calling for the assassination of Donald Trump. Totally normal stuff. FBI director says 8647. This means get rid of the 47th president of the United States. Death threat. Disgraced FBI director James Comey, whose daughter is currently prosecuting Diddy and who prosecuted Jeffrey Epstein until, of course, he died. Jeffrey Epstein was 86th. That's a good example, right? And Ghislaine Maxwell. Ghislaine Maxwell got a plum position inside of a white collar resort prison because of Maureen Comey, James Comey's daughter. Really, truly makes you wonder. James Comey is calling for the assassination of Donald Trump on Instagram. FBI Director Comey posted this on Instagram. Do you think this is a threat against Donald Trump? What did Comey mean by this? We know what he meant by this. Insane, he's calling for assassinations. He knows what he's doing here. Hey, Comey, what exactly do you mean by this? This is a question for federal investigators. The feds have to come on over the top, find Comey, drag him in, and ask him questions about this. This is an open death threat to Donald Trump. And it is obviously far more serious given the fact that James Comey is still a powerful person with an enormous amount of connections. How many people inside the FBI that are working there currently worked for James Comey? How many Secret Service agents know James Comey? These are people with firearms near President Trump. This must and should be interpreted as a direct threat on Trump's life. James Comey is a disgrace to the rule of law and should be fully criminally investigated and held accountable for his actions. Arrest James Comey. Do it now. Did James Comey just post a cryptic message for the assassination of President Trump? It's not cryptic. It's literally in Wikipedia. Disgraced FBI Director James Comey is calling for President Trump to be eliminated. Former Director James Comey, appointed by Obama, shared an Instagram post saying he wants to kill Donald Trump. Again, this is just like the top line of the Wikipedia. 86 means to kill and murder based on an 8-foot-long coffin that is 6 feet deep, or the size of a standard grave being 8 feet long and 6 feet deep, right? 6 feet under. 8-6. I trust everyone is clocking what FBI Director Comey is implying here because it's not good. This is a 100% plea for somebody to murder Trump, or perhaps the plot is afoot already. These people are getting desperate, right? They're getting incredibly desperate. Just the former director of the FBI calling for the assassination of the president. Every single Democrat should denounce this, but sadly the media won't even ask them about it. We'll ask them. Cool shell formation on my beach walk. James Comey can kiss my ass. Try me, bitch. Today, one day you're going to toast. One day you're the toast of the Democrat Party, signing 7-figure book advances and pocketing 6-figure speaking gigs. The next day, you're praying to get notice on Gin Beach while doodling in the sand about the president you failed to put in handcuffs. Dan Bongino has lost his mind again on James Comey. Man, we wish Bongino could really speak right now. He can't. Comey is a disgrace to humankind, an embarrassment to the human race, a destructive force who has caused unimaginable damage to this country and its institutions. Ladies and gentlemen, Dan Bongino, a fired up flamethrower takedown of James Comey. Why don't we play it? First John Rich. We all know what 8647 means. Bongino and Cash, have you seen this? Because 2 assassination attempts are not enough, says Josh Hawley. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here's Dan Bongino, old school takedown of James Comey. The reason I'm playing this is because, well, Dan Bongino would be in charge of opening. He's a deputy director of the FBI. He could arrest Comey right now. Dan Bongino could send a team to get Comey arrested, drag him in, and figure out what he means by this right now. And maybe this is the high-profile case that we need in order to get people to stop making these assassination threats against Trump, because these threats have turned into real assassination attempts on Donald Trump. And it's getting out of control. All right, we've already had, how many survivals does it take for us to start taking this stuff seriously? How many assassination survivals is it going to be? The 4th or 5th time that Trump survives an assassination attempt? Yeah, and this time coming from, well, as high up as really you can get, all right, FBI director for a previous administration. Yeah, this needs to be taken seriously. James Comey needs to be arrested for this. Here's Dan Bongino and his take on James Comey, and hopefully this is followed through on inside of the FBI. Arrest James Comey. There you go.
We got to get rid of people like this. Jim Comey, who signed on, obviously, with the woke agenda because he's weak. This is one of the most disgusting human beings on planet Earth. A man who has done more damage to the United States and its institutions than I'd argue anyone else alive right now. There are people who've done as much, John Brennan, but you can't possibly do more. This man decimated the credibility of the FBI. He is the worst FBI director in the history of the FBI. And the problem with Jim Comey is he is a straight up sociopath. He is a man who has zero remorse for what he did. There is a damning report that just came out, the Durham report, suggesting they never had any evidence to start this case with at all. And Jim Comey, the FBI director, who personally oversaw the case against Trump to spy on him and his presidency, you'd think this guy would sliver into the cave he came from, to never be seen from again, and his family would tell people he died in a car accident so they don't have to acknowledge they know him. Not this guy. This a-hole loser wrote another book and is out doing the media tour. So on the media tour, he was asked, hey, listen, now that the Durham report came out, anything embarrassing here? Are you like going to apologize to America? Nope, not at all. This is a sociopath in action. Watch this loser.
As for the Durham report, 300 pages, 4 years investigating the investigators. One of the things that did come out of it was that procedures, regular FBI procedures, were ignored, that steps were missed along the way in this investigation. In fact, Director Wray said when the report came out, yeah, we acknowledged that a couple of years ago, and we've changed all that. Those changes are already in place. Do you acknowledge perhaps that some mistakes were made along the way?
Oh, definitely. And they were found 4 years ago by the Inspector General. So there's nothing new in this new document.
What were some of those mistakes from your point of view?
Oh, that the FBI didn't communicate clearly the status of certain sources. They didn't double check certain information before putting it in a court application for a foreign intelligence wiretap, and a bunch of others.
And so do you believe now, as some of these politicians call for defunding of the FBI, that has been corrected and that now the procedures are in place to avoid those kind of mistakes in the future?
I think so. But in complex investigations, there's always going to be mistakes. It doesn't mean the FBI is incompetent, honest, and independent.
So, Director, with some distance now from your time there with that investigation and everything that came into that 2016 election, are there things that you wish you had done differently?
Oh, plenty. I mean, plenty of small things. In the main, I think the FBI did it in the right way during a very difficult time in 2016.
Wait, is this guy smoking the glass? Is this guy on crack? Is he smoking crack?